Okay, before the video starts off, I just want to say do not be scared by the length of the video that you probably saw clicking on this video and that you're seeing down here. Do not pay attention to that. That is not the real length of this video. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on that later into this video. But with that being said, hey guys, what's up? This is Ziploc Rules 2013. And today I'm bringing you all an informative video, more of a tutorial I guess, but an informative video on how you can record your classic retro game consoles for super duper dirt cheap in the year 2020. Now, I haven't really been asked this a whole lot, but a couple of people on Discord have asked me about this. And I figured I would make a video about it since I've always wanted to make a video about this. And so we're going to go into details about that today in this video. How do you record your classic games in 2020 without emulation on your original systems? And because most likely, if you've already been a YouTuber for a while, you probably have a modern capture card. Problem is that these only support HDMI in and out. So this ain't gonna cut it unless you get some super expensive HDMI mod for your Super Nintendo, which those can cost upwards of $100 or more. So you don't have that much money to play around with. In fact, your budget here is actually gonna be $30. I'll probably put that in the title, but $30 is your budget. And so what can you do with that $30? Well, I'm going to show you what you need here. So you're going to need a capture card. Now, this is not an official gaming capture card. This is actually the Dazzle DVC100, also known as Dazzle Video Creator Plus. There's a new model of this, but this is the Dazzle DVC100. Anything, I would not go any lower than that. This is like a 2008 capture card. There's like a DVC80 from like 2002. I wouldn't go with that, but a Dazzle DVC100, you can find this on eBay for about $10. Super cheap and super reliable. Next, what you're going to need is you're going to need a double male RCA cable. So you're going to need the red, white, and yellow. You're going to need your male ends on both sides. So 3 male to 3 male. And again, this goes for about $5 on eBay. You can also get them on Amazon, a little more expensive, but $5 on eBay should get you a decent cord. You might want to get a spare. So if you have a little more money, get a spare, because you might accidentally rip it out of your TV, break it or something. But that's that. You're also going to need 3 Y-splitter cables. So you're going to need a Y-splitter cable, 1 male to 2 female. Female obviously being the receiving end. And you're going to need 3 of those. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and open up the capture card. Now, very unlikely for $10 that you're going to get a boxed one of these. I bought this a year ago. I got it as a late Christmas gift. And it actually did not come pictured with a box. So I didn't exactly expect to get the box, but I did get it. So if you do get it with the box, it's what you expect to get. This is just instructions. You don't need that. And here's the capture card itself. Now with this, you're actually going to get a CD or a DVD with some files. There's going to be some drivers you're going to have to download for this. Do not use that disc. I'm actually going to link those in the description. So check the description when you're done watching this. You'll find the drivers there, but here is your Dazzle. Now, you obviously have your yellow video port, and then you have both of your audio ports, so for mono and stereo. But the reason you're going to need these Y-splitter cables is because there's only 1 port for each. So you're going to need the splitter cable so that it turns into 2 ports. You're going to have 1 video cable coming from your video game console into the capture card, and then another one going out to your TV, which is off camera. But I'm gonna go ahead and actually set this up and show you what it should look like. Alright, so this should end up looking like this. Now this is a little bit of a, might look a little intimidating, but trust me, it is very simple. Your cord, this cord I have in particular going to your TV is actually pretty short, so you might want to custom order a little bit of a longer cord. You know, the double male cord, but here we go. Nonetheless, this is how it's set up. If I can carefully just see your splitter, you're gonna have one cable coming from your console going here, and then the other half of the splitter, that cable goes to your TV. Now, this will work obviously on pretty much any TV you have. Apparently, newer TVs don't come with AV inputs though, so you might have to check that out. And of course, in a pinch, you can actually use your computer as your monitor. So if you didn't have the splitters, you would have to do that, but you could do that if you had to. You can also hook up S-Video over here. I'm not exactly sure how you would get your get a signal on your TV, but if you can figure that out, you can actually use S-Video here. But I just use composite. You can also use component, and that works out as well. Also, if you have like an NES or something, or like an old Atari system that supports like RF out, like I know the top loader NES only supports RF out, you can actually get an RF to AV converter. Make sure it's RF to AV. They sell them the other way around, and so those won't work, but there's plenty of substitutions you can use if composite isn't going to cut it. And you can even use S-Video if you're looking for high quality footage, which trust me, you're not going to get high quality footage here, but it'll be good enough. And of course, when you want to go ahead and record your video, I have one, there we go. Just put your game in your system, and that's pretty much that. Now, I will say you probably don't want to go really anywhere past like 6th or 7th gen consoles with a Dazzle. So this is a pretty outdated capture card, so anything past like a GameCube or an original Xbox, I'd probably just go ahead and use a HD capture card for that, but you can use it on like a Wii or even a 360, and that's pretty much that. Now, I did mention this video is a lot longer than it looks because I'm actually going to be putting some sample footage from this. There's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes of sample footage recorded with this slapped on at the end of the video. Now, this tutorial section is not done. We're actually going to go ahead and show you how you get this set up in OBS. Okay, so before we actually get to that, I would actually like to show off one quick thing. So this is designed for Windows XP, originally designed for Windows XP. Now, if you get the Dazzle DVC100, which I wouldn't recommend you do, but if you do get that, that actually requires that you have Windows XP or Windows 2000 if you want to run it. So that's pretty important, so don't buy the Dazzle DVC100. It's really old. It's like an 18-year-old capture card now, but at the same time, you can't use it with any operating system after Windows XP. So, and it might be exclusive to XP. I'm not sure if it even works with 2000 or not, but just something to note. And I don't know, if you have a Windows XP computer, I guess you can still use your Dazzle here. I also read that this might work on Windows 2000 as well. Not too sure, but possibly. But with that all the way, let's go ahead and move to the PC. Okay, so here we are. We're on OBS Studio right now. Now, if you're using OBS Classic, you definitely are going to need to upgrade just so that you can customize your setup a little bit better. OBS Classic, not that it's bad or anything, but a little inferior, a little bit... I don't know, it's just outdated. But right now, go ahead and plug in the Dazzle to your USB 2.0 or 3.0 port. It really doesn't matter. We're going to tackle the audio setting here. So you're going to want audio input capture right here. So audio input capture. And you should have your devices right here. You don't want output, because output, it'll output to your desktop, so you don't want that. But you're going to want to just select line Dazzle DVC100 audio device. It's not an audio device, but whatever. It's that's how OBS interprets it. And then you're going to want to do a video capture device. And so this is, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to bother naming things here. And I don't want my ugly ass face here either. We're just going to set that. My hair was a mess there. Set that to Dazzle DVC100 video device. And you actually do need to make two separate devices here. So basically your audio tab here, your audio capture is not going to work without your video capture being toggled with. Now you're going to want to unlock the preview so you can move around the window. This is the Dazzle window, by the way, so this is where your gameplay will be shown. We're just going to go ahead and stretch that out, and 4x3 display is what we're going for right now. I will show you how you can stretch that later on though. We're going to want to go ahead, go to transform. We're going to want to go all the way to the bottom, center to screen, click off of that, and lock it. And so, can't move it around. That is basically how you get the image set up. Now, the capture card is currently plugged in, so let me put in Star Fox here. Stick that in my N64. And first try. Nope. Dang it. Old cartridge games don't wanna load up. I tried my best not to spit there. Hey, blow into the cartridge. I don't want to make the problem worse. Come on. Okay. You can clearly see some little staticky lines appear on the screen, though. That's happens when you try and start the system, or when you hit power. There we go. Nintendo presents, and here we are. This is Star Fox 64. Now, right here on the mixer tab, you're actually going to want to get rid of your video capture device. The reason for this is because when you're in OBS, it randomly selects which devices are where, and you can't like pick up and drag them. So in this case, I'm going to need to be able to see my microphone audio levels while I'm playing the game. And I will, and you can see it's dead air on the game, but you're going to want to go ahead, click on settings, and hide the video capture device. So that way you just have two windows here, nothing else. And if you're streaming, you're probably going to need more than just that, but for my setup, I just want to be able to see the audio levels, compare the two of them. And if this was below the audio device, and it would just be one working line, one dead line, and then audio below that working, and then it's like, well, I can't compare the levels. It's like, that's gonna make things really complicated. But yeah, now that we hid the video device, that is perfectly fine. It's taken care of, and it's all good and done. Now, like I said, there's no audio going through, and that's because I haven't messed with the audio settings. So I'm gonna quickly turn this off. It hit the cartridge, so I guess I kind of glitched that out there. Put that back in. But what you're going to want to do is go to the video capture device, not the audio capture, but the video capture device. You're going to want to go to properties. And so here's obviously where you can select your device. We don't want to change the device. You want to go to configure crossbar. And so this is the default settings. You're going to have to do this, by the way, every time you boot up OBS. You can't really set this permanently, but you're going to want to go to the output. Video decoder out, we don't want that. We want the audio decoder out instead. So that should remove whatever was here before in the input tab, and you're going to want to go with audio line in for the input. And apply. Right there, you saw some movement, and so now we should be all set for the audio. Let's turn the game back on. Haha, it worked. And we're getting audio here. There we go. Star Fox 64. Great game, by the way. Very nice game, very fun game. But yeah, we're getting audio from the game now. And you can obviously mess with this, drag it up here. This is how much you want to decrease it by. How many decibels? So like 10 decibels, 15, 20. You'll have to mess with that, preferably before you record or stream. And by the way, this works perfectly fine for either recording or streaming. So like I could go ahead, I have another device set up, and so what I can do, set that to XSplit. It's just a banner. I don't know why I have that, but I can go over here to my Dazzle stream window, go to my normal Dazzle window, and I can go ahead and set that to Dazzle, and now I'm ready to stream. So that's pretty cool right there. I can just quickly swap things out and I'm good to go. Now, I did promise I would show you how you actually stretch your display window. So typically I like to just leave this in 4:3 for my older games. They mostly don't support widescreen natively. And so we're actually going to pretend that this one does. It doesn't, but pretend it does. Unlock the preview. And so you can tell when you try and stretch this window, the whole thing goes with it. Like, you can't just go a little bit to the side. It stretches the whole window. So what you can do to change that, hold down the shift key, now click, and now you can drag left and right, side to side, and you can also go up and down. You have to hold the shift key while doing this though. And then we can do it on this side too. And now my display is in 16:9 widescreen. So if I had a game that had a widescreen option, then I would probably do that. But otherwise, I just prefer to leave stuff in its native aspect ratio, 4:3. And so I'm going to go ahead and redo that. So make it its former state. So nope, I didn't want to do that. Video capture, transform, center to screen, and perfectly centered. Before I knew how to do that, I would try and artificially center it, and it was never perfect. And if I look at my old videos, they look dumb because of that. But go ahead and do this, apply with the audio, and now we have audio. So you can hit the record button. And one last thing is for quality and frame rate. The Dazzle DVC100, the Classic Edition one, which is what I'm using, supports 360p for its resolution. So 360p, you would go down here, 640 by 360, set it to that, and the frame rate is 29.97 frames per second. So 29.97, go ahead and do that. It's just so it doesn't like put extra strain on my computer. I could do 720 30 FPS. Or 29.97, but my file size would be just unnecessarily large, so just assume, or well, I mean, your capture card's only going to support 360, so even if the game itself supports 480i or 480p, you're getting 360p footage. But honestly, it's not really that big of a deal. But obviously, if you were streaming or something and you had like a whole overlay, then you might want to bump it up to 720p. I can't do that because of my internet, but you might want to do that just so that the rest of your overlay looks decent. But that's really all there is to talk about. So that's how you get your Dazzle DVC100 working with your OBS Studio. It is very simple, surprisingly simple to be honest, and really it's customizable. I think you can also mess with the brightness settings if you thought it was a little bright. I think you can mess with that as well. You'll just have to look through it for yourself. And that's really all I have to say. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video off for you guys who are just here for the tutorial. But I am also going to leave some sample footage, a good amount of sample footage actually, here on the end of the video. So in the next 10-15 minutes or so, you can enjoy some Dazzle sample footage, full audio, no commentary, just raw gameplay. So I hope, for those of you who are leaving right now, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Peace to you all. But for the rest of you who are going to stay for the sample footage, I hope you enjoy it. And I guess that's it for me. So enjoy, and I'll see you next time.